Let me show you something strange about a human mind. You're having a perfectly normal day and you've completed all your tasks. And suddenly your brain goes like, was I being rude to her? Did I send him the wrong file? Have I really completed all my tasks? No crisis, no dangers, just your brain creating phantom threats out of thin air. And wait, that's not the only place it shows. Sometimes you say something really small to a friend, a joke, a comment, a sentence, and 5 hours later you're wondering, was it necessary for me to say that? Was I too much? Is she hurt? Should I say her sorry? Or is it normal? It all feels too personal, but it's not. This is your brain trying to keep you socially safe. The same old ancient instinct that once kept our ancestors alive in tribes, that same instinct today is burning you out. And if that wasn't enough, technology has learned how to amplify it. Think about it. WhatsApp read receipts. Two blue ticks and no reply, and suddenly your brain goes like, why are they ignoring me? Did I say something wrong? Are they upset with me? In fact, most of the times, like normal human, they are busy, cooking, driving, asleep, but your brain does not wait for facts. It simply fills the gap with fear because that's what it's designed to do. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Overthinking is no longer just something that we do, it's something that modern life feeds on. So, today, let's understand why we overthink when there's nothing wrong happening and why your brain refuses to offer you peace even in moments that are perfectly safe. So, why does our brain behave like this? Reacting to normal situations like it's life or death. To understand this, let's go back in time. Not 10 years, not 100 years, but 2 million years back. Our brain was not designed for the modern life. It was not built for smartphones, social media, deadlines, or messages left on scene. It was built for forest, for survival, for danger. Back then, assuming danger was the only way to stay alive. If a caveman heard some rustling in the bushes and thought it's a tiger and ran, they survive instead of somebody who thinks it's just wind. So the brain learned one simple rule: better safe than sorry, and that wiring never went away. It was carried forwarded to us in the modern world. This is why your brain sometimes feels it's overreacting because it is, but it is doing so to protect you. In psychology, we call this the caveman brain. It's the most oldest, most primitive part of the brain, the part that is responsible for fight or flight, fear, scanning the environment, and reacting quickly. This caveman brain has not been updated for years. It still thinks that we live in the wild and it still behaves as if danger's everywhere. Today, the danger is not a saber-toothed tiger. It's a delayed message, change in the tone of talking, a future scenario that is yet to happen. But our caveman brains still reacts to all the situations with the same amount of worry, alertness, and fear. This is a caveman's part: instinctive, fast, emotional, and always scanning for danger. The job is simple: see something scary, react immediately. The newest part of the brain. It's slow, logical, analytical. It helps plan, understand problems, and solve situations. The job is simple: explain things, make sense out of those things, and predict things. But here's the real problem: both of these systems are connected, but they don't always get along. The caveman brain sends a feeling of danger, and the modern brain tries to solve the danger using thought. But in modern life, most of the threats are not physical. The raw emotion comes from the caveman's brain, and the overthinking comes from the modern brain, which tries to explain those emotions. This is how we got stuck with a brain that feels ancient fear and uses modern imagination to create problems that simply don't exist. Our brains did not evolve enough to handle overthinking, but to fight physical dangers. Your modern brain gives the ancient fear hundreds of places to hide. So now that we understand how the ancient fear mind and the modern thinking mind collides, let's see what actually triggers the overthinking loop. Because here's the surprising part. Overthinking isn't just one thing. It's a psychological cocktail influenced by multiple fields of science: anxiety research, depression research, neuroscience, cognitive psychology, personality psychology, even behavioral science. Every field identifies a different trigger. Hence, there is not one single study that shows all causes of overthinking together. It's too broad, too multi-layered, and too deeply woven of how human brains have evolved. But yes, psychologists do agree on one thing. Most overthinking begins from something very simple and an uncomfortable feeling: Uncertainty. One of the most respected models in psychology is intolerance of uncertainty model. It explains why human mind spirals so easily. It says overthinking is triggered by 5 core patterns. Number 1, uncertainty. The brain hates not knowing. It would rather create the worst case scenario than sit in silence. Number 2, overstimulation of threat. A small issue feels like a big danger. Number 3, avoidance. The more you try to avoid a situation, the more your brain analyzes it. Number 4, negative problem orientation. The thought that everything will go wrong and I won't be able to handle it all. Number 5, cognitive biases. Your brain filters reality through fear tinted glasses. These triggers mostly explain the thinking part of overthinking, the mental loops, the predictions, the catastrophing. But overthinking isn't just cognitive, it's social, emotional, and biological. And here's where things get really interesting. If we go beyond science, then we'll see how people worry in real life. And most overthinking falls apart in just 2 categories. Once we understand them, we'll be able to notice it everywhere. Number 1, the crystal ball trap, the predictive overthinking. In this trap, your brain starts solving the future. It's like thinking hard will magnificently give it powers to control a situation that has not happened yet. It starts quietly with a small doubt, a little uncertainty, and suddenly your brain is spiraling with thoughts. What if this goes wrong? What if that happens? What if I'm simply not right? This and that and whatnot. At first, this question feels responsible, productive, as if you're preparing yourself. But in reality, they pull you into an endless mental stimulation where every outcome is a threat, every possibility is a disaster, and every imagined scenario demands more attention than the present moment. Your brain has tricked you into believing that constant thinking will give you control. Rather, all you get is exhaustion. It's a constant loop with no answers, false sense of control, which eventually drains your peace. Second, the rewind button lie, the retrospective overthinking. Over here, your brain pulls you in when it starts replaying the past as if it's looking for data, scanning for moments, for clues that you might have missed. And just like that, a simple memory turns into an investigation. Your brain starts looking for answers to why did I handle like that? Why did I say that? Was I even thinking right? Your brain becomes a loop of CCTV, repeating the same scenes again and again, looking for mistakes that don't matter now or did not even exist in the first place. At first, it feels like you're gaining clarity as if you're solving something. But in reality, it's not clarity, it's self punishment in the name of analysis. Both of these traps exist because of one place your brain's need to control. The caveman brain thinks the danger is near. Your modern brain thinks, let me think of a way out. But together, they create a loop where thinking becomes a survival strategy even when the danger is not around. And this is what causes overthinking. Now, here's where the things get uncomfortable. Overthinking isn't something that just happens in your mind, it's something that the world triggers in you. Because the more you overthink, the more predictable and profitable your behavior becomes. Let me show you how. Number 1, FOMO, the fear of missing out. Have you noticed how ads and websites now scream offer ends in 10 minutes, offer expires soon, the people in your city just bought this? None of this is accidental. It all taps into your crystal ball trap, which activates the fear of acting now or the future will punish you. So now, instead of thinking clearly, your mind panics. What if the pieces get sold out? What if I regret not buying it? Your fear of missing out makes you one conversion for the brand. Everyone watching this video must have fallen for this trap at least once in their life. Number 2, scarcity, the illusion of urgency. You might have seen on a lot of places 2 seats left, 1 ticket available, last copy to be sold, even though there might be 10,000s of them. Now you may wonder why. Because scarcity opens your brain into a survival mode. Your caveman brain starts thinking low supplies is equals to worry. This forces your brain to think emotionally and not logically. Even a normal purchase turns into a life or death situation in your brain. Number 3, curiosity loops. Ever get a notification on your phone? Someone's mentioned you, your weekly report is ready, a surprise awaits, tap to reveal. Now, they don't tell you what exactly it is, which creates uncertainty, making it a loop of thoughts. Now, you open the app not because you want to, but because your brain cannot rest still until it knows. Your curiosity leads to a higher screen time, and this is the psychology used behind the slot machines. Number 4, comparison psychology. Today, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, they don't just show you content, they show you people who seem to be doing better than you. Someone's getting a dream car, someone's getting a dream house, someone's getting married, someone's getting a child. And all of a sudden, you find yourself thinking, am I failing? Am I behind? Am I not doing things right? This is not the motivation. This is a weaponized comparison. Because the more insecure you feel, the more likely you are to buy a product that promises improvement. Today, skincare, clothing, online coaches, fitness programs thrive on this comparison based psychology. Number 5, notifications. You open your phone to somebody posted for the first time in a while, XYZ reacted to your story, new messages received. But notice they don't disclose the full message in the notification bar. Why? Because half information creates a mental discomfort. Your brain immediately starts guessing, what have they texted me? Is everything alright? Did they like my story? All of this ultimately leading you to open your phone. Anxiety leads to one active user account. Number 6, fear appeals. Insurance ads showing what if something happens to your family. Securities ads showing what happens when your home is not protected. Health companies showing, are you sure your immunity is strong enough? All these companies are not selling products. They are selling fear reliefs. So in today's world, your fear, your doubts, your what if loops are not random. They are being studied, targeted, and engineered to make you check more, click more, buy more, and compare more. Overthinking today has become a business, so unless and until you understand this, you'll keep falling for loops that you did not create. All these doubts, fears, comparison, they don't just happen inside your brain. Over time, they shape you. Your personality changes in ways you don't even notice. Let me show you how. Number 1, loss of confidence. Overthinking makes you question every single move. A simple mistake becomes a character flaw in your head. And the more you start replaying things, the more you start believing that there's something wrong with you. You don't lose your confidence overnight. It gets chipped a million times with every what if I'm wrong thought. Number 2, indecision. Have you ever held a menu in your hand with 50 plus options to eat and thought to yourself, what if I choose the wrong dish? That's not the hunger speaking. That's the trained inability to trust your own decision. Overthinking makes every big or small decision a mental examination. Number 3, seeking validation. Number 4, people pleasing. Number 5, analysis paralysis. Number 6, reduced risk taking. And number 7, emotional instability. Overthinking doesn't just affect your mind, it also slowly and quietly reshapes your personality. Your confidence turns into doubts, choices into stress, and your calm life into a constant internal battle. But the good news is, once you see how it works, you can start taking your identity back. Overthinking isn't harmless, it's a mental habit that slowly wears you down. It causes anxiety, lack of sleep, lack of focus, emotional fatigue, mood swings, and reduced productivity. That is why overthinking isn't just a habit, it's a whole cycle of stress, burnout, anxiety, and emotional instability over a period of time. But the good news is your brain can be trained to break these loops via simple techniques like breathing routines, CBT style journaling, grounding techniques, guided meditation, and ultimately it will retrain your brain to slow down, see clearly, and break through the fear cycle. Now, if you're looking for a place to start, then ChatCouncil has short, science backed CBT sessions, grounding tools, and meditation designed exactly for days when your mind feels overloaded. Now, note, this is not a therapist, but a reliable, private, and an always available space to untangle your thoughts when you feel it's all too loud. Even 5 minutes a day can calm the storm because it's practical, behavioral, and grounded in neuroscience. Overthinking loses its grip when you give your mind something healthier to do. All this is not an inspirational talk, but neuroscience backs it. Researchers at Stanford found that naming your emotion reduces the threat engagement by 40%. Harvard study shows that reframing thoughts strengthens the prefrontal cortex, giving the mind the better control over fear responses. At UCLA, researchers revealed that slow, diaphragmatic breathing sends a signal to your brainstem that says, we are safe, immediately lowering your psychological intensity of overthinking. This means your mind is not just calming down but rewiring itself towards stability. These are not high maintenance lifestyle changes, rather, small actions that will help you break the loop one layer at a time. Now, I want you to do something right here, right now. Think about the thought that you have been overthinking recently. Could be a decision you have made, a message you have sent, a future worry, anything small that should have not mattered, but it's still looping in your head. Now write that thought down in the comments. For example, I have been overthinking about not for me, not for anybody else, but for you. So that you can finally let that thought out of your mind in real world where it loses its power. Because sometimes the first step to break overthinking is by acknowledging it. Your brain has been protecting you for millions of years, but today it requires a different kind of support. Thought at a time.